Malamai saura mintin ku biyu.
Minti biyun da ya faɗi yanzu. Shi kake magana ko kuwa ne da ba
wallahi jini shi
ga indigenous ɗin nan ni ba indigenous ba ne.
Shi mu haɗa indigenous.
Good morning, all. We are welcome to this training.
morning.
Good day all. We are welcome to today's training organized by Client Aspire Limited. As Client Aspire Limited, as you all know, that we are research organizations, and also along our responsibility, apart from the fact that we are a research training organizations, we also carry out some social responsibility. So today's program is part of social responsibility that usually provide to the general public, so that one way or the other, the general public can also learn one or two things, or can also benefit one or two things from the organization. And today, you all know, we have been able to invite a distinguished scholar, a scholar of international reputation, with over 3,000 citations, more than 90 Scopus index paper, Scopus and Web of Science paper, in person of Prof. Lukman Raimi, will be the one that is going to take us through how we can use ChatGPT in quantitative analysis. As we all know today, we have AI. Whether we like it or not, we need to integrate it into the way we do our things. AI will not replace our job. However, it can assist us to become a super individual that will be able to deliver efficiently and efficiently. So join me to welcome in Prof. Lukman Raimi as he anchored the program. Prof, sir, you have the floor. And let me also remind us that for those of us, we can on our video, but when you're on your video, please be careful. We are already on the YouTube live. We are already on the live stream on YouTube. So anything you display on your video, it will be displayed globally. So please take note. Thanks.
Okay, hello everyone. You're all welcome to this knowledge sharing session organized by Client Aspire Limited. And the purpose of this session, as rightly enunciated by Dr. Nurdin Bamiro, is to enrich our knowledge capacity regarding how to use ChatGPT for analyzing quantitative research. Before the arrival of ChatGPT, whether paid version or free version, the academia, that is the university, polytechnics, and colleges, we have been conducting our research using software such as SPSS, Stata, eView, Smart PLS, Amos, Jamovi, PSPP, among others. But the problem that people have with these fantastic tools are two. One, most people in the developing countries find it difficult to subscribe for these particular tools because they are expensive. And secondly, those who are able to afford some of this software may not know how to manipulate, how to use some of these tools. So they are always scared, about data analysis. In fact, there are so many professors who give their data to student or consultant to analyze for them. There's nothing wrong with that. It is ethical, it is acceptable. But after analyzing, you should be able to interpret whatever is analyzed, and you should be able to defend it wherever you may be. But with the arrival of ChatGPT, particularly AI is the proper terminology. And from AI, so many things have actually sprung up among which is OpenAI, ChatGPT, among others. So AI is bigger, broader than what we call ChatGPT. That is just a baby from AI. So today I will be sharing with you how to analyze your quantitative data using ChatGPT. So let me go to sharing mode. Are you all following me? Am I audible enough?
Yes, Prof.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Prof.
So first and foremost, I would like to thank the organizer, Client Aspire Limited, for organizing this particular knowledge sharing session. And for those of you who are joining from different parts of the world, I want to commend your presence and commitment to ongoing knowledge sharing session. Your participation, of course, underscores a shared dedication to harnessing innovative tool for scholarly advancement. So my presentation, of course, will be professional and is anchored or hinged on 9 parts. The first one, we are going to look at the learning outcomes. Secondly, I'm going to talk to you on the introduction. Then I will define for you what is data analysis. Then what is the importance of data analysis for researchers, for educators, and can ChatGPT conduct data analysis? And what type of data analysis can it conduct? Of course, you can use it for both qualitative and quantitative. But for this session, we are looking at ChatGPT and quantitative data analysis. Then I want to caution on similarity index, plagiarism, among others, particularly when doing the interpretation. Your data analysis is not plagiarism, but the explanation, because it's in words, sentences, phrases, clauses, so they are all written in machine language. So you need to use what is called CREPT strategies for paraphrasing in order for your research to be acceptable. The explanation, not the table, not the chart, not the figure. Figure cannot be plagiarized because you analyze it. Whatever you are getting from ChatGPT, paid version, is what you are going to get in SPSS. The only difference is that it's going to be faster, easier, and of course, more simplified using ChatGPT. So we then go to the practical session where I'm going to open my ChatGPT interface, and you see how I navigate, how I manipulate the data in order to generate my result. Then we are going to conclude with questions and answers. So the learning outcomes from this particular session are basically 3. 1, you understand how to use the paid version of ChatGPT to enhance and simplify your quantitative data analysis. So that is number 1. Then we are going to learn how to apply the ChatGPT AI-assisted techniques for interpreting whatever result you generate effectively. And finally, whatever you learn today as educators, you need to use it and then transfer it to your students who do not really appreciate research, particularly in the era of data analytics. The difference between data analysis and data analytics is a matter of semantics. What we do in terms of our data analysis in the university using SPSS is good for researchers, for professors, for lecturers in the university. But for those who are in the industry, those data need to be analyzed in a way that will help them to be able to formulate strategies and make informed decisions. So through what is called demographic analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. So all these are what people do today. And essentially, they are plainly visualization and simplify explanation on how to make decisions. Do we sell or do we buy? Do we stop investing or do we continue to invest? These are what data analytics wants to do for us. But that is another knowledge sharing session in future using AI for data analytics. So my introduction states that the rapid advancement in AI and open source AI software such as ChatGPT, DeepSeek, among others, has created unhindered access to lecturers, to students, to educators on how to use analytic tools in a cost-effective manner to actually analyze their data, whether qualitative or quantitative data. So in this particular era, there's no excuse for not, analyzing data to make informed decision or to enrich your research, either academic research or policy research. Therefore, knowledge without application is simply knowledge. So there are so many people who are going about with theory in their brain, but they can't put it into, practical application. So applying the knowledge to one's life is wisdom, and that is the ultimate virtue, according to Kessi Kaye Lillipoulos. So what then is data analysis? Because this is purely a practical, but I need to provide some theoretical, imperative before we jump into the analysis. Data analysis is simply the process of collecting, analyzing, organizing, interpreting, and presenting data to uncover patterns, drawing conclusion, and support decision-making. So in other words, we have to carry out data collection. We are not doing that here. We are also not organizing. So, or we are doing partial organizing and interpreting, then we uncover patterns. So the issue of data collecting, fine-tuning, coding, we are not doing that here. Therefore, data analysis involves using statistical, logical, and analytical techniques to understand what the data is saying. So we need to dig deep into the data, whether primary data, secondary data, to really understand what, why, and for what purpose. What is the impact? So all these are things that data is going to provide us. So data analysis is one of the three core responsibilities of an academic lecturer alongside teaching and community service. Some of us will teach well, some of us will carry out services, brilliantly, but our research is very, very poor because we are very weak in data analysis. Therefore, data analysis plays a critical role in fulfilling the maxim, publish or perish. So if you don't publish, your promotion is going to be stagnant. And when you are not publishing, after some time, you get frustrated, you may be asked to go, or you go on your own. And that is why the maxim, publish or perish, is very, very common in the academia. More recently, people have also expanded the maxim to be visible or vanish. Yes, some people are publishing, but they are not visible. So if you are publishing and your publication is not reaching where it should, it's not being used by policymakers, by government, by research institute, by industry, then you are going to vanish. So these two maxims are very, very important: publish or perish, and be visible or vanish. So what is the importance of data analysis to those of us who call ourselves lecturers or PhD students or master students? Simple one: informs evidence-based decision. Whatever you are saying on the social media, on television, on radio, if it is not backed by data, then it is just conjecture. You are drawing conclusion based on I think, I feel, and the world has gone beyond that. So everything you are doing must be based on data. Two, data analysis enhances research quality. So when people read your paper and they don't see data analysis, then that paper lacks rigor. it lacks credibility. What you are selling is just subjective views, and subjectivity is not really, something that is desired in the academia. So if you go to a newspaper stand, people argue over nothing. That is subjectivity. 3, data identifies patterns and trends. When you analyze data, you see pattern. When A is going up, what is happening to B and C? Are they also going up or they are going down? Those are patterns and trends from which conclusion, decision could be hinged. 4, data analysis supports theory development. Your data findings, the findings arising from your data will either align with existing theory or controvert existing theory. Whichever one, both support theory development. And finally, your findings arising from your data guides policy and practice. By policy, simply means your findings will serve as recommendation for government and those who are policymakers, and also for managers in the industry, for lecturers, for students, among others. So if you don't base your articles, your write-up in the university based on data, then you won't be able to guide policymakers, practitioners, managers, and the community. So that is why data analysis is very, very important. So the question is, can ChatGPT conduct data analysis? The answer is yes. Functionally, ChatGPT is designed to assist in data analysis with human guidance and specification of statistical tools, model specification, and variable definition. You don't just go to ChatGPT and dump your data and say, analyze. No, you have to guide ChatGPT on what you want. Do you want correlation? Are you testing for reliability? Are you testing for what we can call linear regression? What are the assumptions? How many variables do you have? We know in research, we have what is called dependent variable and independent variable. They must be specified. And for advanced research, we also have what we call moderating variable, mediating variable, and more importantly too, we also have control variable. So there are 5 types of variable in a good academic research. 1, dependent variable. 2, independent variable. 3, control variable. 4, moderating variable. 5, mediating variable. The list you may have in a research are just 2, dependent and independent. And your dependent usually is 1. The independent will be 1 or 2 or 3. So depending on what you are conducting. So whenever you are using ChatGPT, you must specify what you are doing for that algorithm to understand your data. Then interpretation should also be specified, that after analyzing my correlation or regression or my robustness test, please interpret the result for me, because people have difficulty in interpreting their result. So ChatGPT can also help you to clean and organize your data. If you put in data and some years are missing, you can fill in those missing years using what is called imputation. So in future, we learn imputation. Then ChatGPT that we are talking about, the paid version, it is also tapping into some tools like Python, R, Stata, and even the ideas, that SPSS is using, Stata is using. All these are embedded in ChatGPT. So if you want to use, for instance, Stata, you don't have Stata, you can ask ChatGPT to generate some syntax for you. Those syntax, when you copy them from ChatGPT and you put it in Stata, is going to work. And the beauty of ChatGPT is that I want you to analyze my data like SPSS, it's going to do that. Like as if you are in starter, it's going to do that. So all these are specification. Then at the end of the analysis, you can now ask ChatGPT that summarize and explain my findings in plain language. Once they are explained, you copy them into Word and then paraphrase in your own words without removing some keywords in research. You can't change the regression output. You can't change the word correlation. They are registered words. What you can change is, the digital footprints and also paraphrasing, the sentences, maybe 15 words. You can put your own like 8 or 7 so that the remaining one will be the one generated by the algorithm. That is accepted. That's what is called paraphrasing. Paraphrasing doesn't mean you change all the words in a sentence. No, what it means is that you must explain it in your own words and then put the proper citation. So what are the things that you do whenever you want to use quantitative data analysis? These are the things you do: descriptive statistics, diagnostic statistics, you do analysis of variance, regression, correlation, factor analysis, and even what we call the reliability test, Cronbach alpha. It can also do that for you. So these are the things that ChatGPT will be able to do for you. So I'll come back to this later. So let's go to the practical session. And what do you mean by practical session? Conducting quantitative data analysis with ChatGPT using real-world data. So this is the real-world data. I got a grant in the last 1 year to investigate this particular phenomenon, effect of entrepreneurial orientation and entrepreneurial leadership on small, medium enterprise performance. So in other words, in previous research, people have focused on the relationship between EO, entrepreneurial orientation, and small business performance. Some other studies focus on entrepreneurial leadership and small business performance. I now combine the two because the two are independent variables: entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial leadership. Both are key constructs in entrepreneurship. One is talking about firm level, construct. The other one is human level. When you say entrepreneurial leadership, you're talking about human being, how they lead organization in the times of problem. Entrepreneurial orientation is talking about the organization itself, the orientation, the philosophy of that particular organization. It could be MTN, it could be Dangote. How does the organization itself cope with turbulence? So that's what the research is talking about. So I now develop a questionnaire. I collected data from small business owners in ASEAN. ASEAN simply means Association of Southeast Asian, nations. So at the end, these are the key things you see in the questionnaire. The descriptive location, we are using Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, that is LOC. Age of a respondent, educational level, that's EDU. PW, professional working experience. The TSM is type of SMEs. You have, some that basically small, some are medium, some are fairly large. Then TOR, the type of respondent. Who is responding? Is it worker? Is it manager? Is it policymaker? Then ET is entrepreneurial turbulence. EL is entrepreneurial leadership, and EO. So after the data has been organized, so this is what I came out with. So let's now go to my ChatGPT interface. So let me share it. Can you see the interface? ChatGPT interface, can you see it?
No, Prof.
No, sir.
Okay, let me share it. Okay, yeah, you'll be able to see it. Can you see it now?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah,
Okay, yes,
this is
Prof.
what is called
Yes,
the
Prof, you can see it.
ChatGPT interface. In my own case, it is a paid version. it is a paid version that can do the job for you. And if you are finding it difficult to use paid version, a number of lecturers can just contribute money, because I think I normally pay $20 monthly, and I've been using it for over 2 years. So if you can afford it, it's better. But where you think you may not be able to afford it, so you can contribute and then you use it continuously. You can use it on multiple devices. You can sign. The most important thing is that you are going to share a particular email and password to be able to enter that particular ChatGPT account. So you can use it, maybe 10 person, does not have limit. So this is the interface. And for this particular activity, before I start the manipulation, let me show you the data I'm going to use. So I'm going to unshare. So these are the data sets I want to use. So the first one is this. Can you see this? These are the prompts, the language that the ChatGPT actually, understands. So I develop it for teaching my students. I've also used it to teach professors in Nigerian universities. I think last year or early this year, professors, associate professor, VC, everybody attended. This is what I use. I taught them how to use this for both qualitative and quantitative. So prompt simply means language command that it actually understood. Can you see it? I'm going to share it later. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Prof.
How
We can
about
see.
this Excel? Can you also see this Excel data?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So this is the
Yes.
data that has been fine-tuned, ready for analysis in the Excel. You can also use the same data in your SPSS and everything. LOC that I showed earlier on. Somebody is using a phone. So just keep that phone aside. It's interfering with what we are doing here. So this is my data, which is already fine-tuned in readiness for data analysis. If you look at the data, you see all the variables, dependent, independent. I'm coming. Okay. And the number of respondents. So you can see the number of respondents is, I think, around 1 something. Okay, yeah, 224. 224. Please mute whenever you're on the social media. You mute. It's talking to international audience. Mute your mic. So this is my data. So now that you all know that we are using data and prompts, so let me go back to the interface so that we start now. So start looking at the process. So this is my interface. This is my interface. So I will now start by clicking this plus. This plus says add file. I'm uploading the file. So add file. So I'll then go to my folder to pick the file where I kept. So this is
Mr. Okechukwu Chiloke, please mute yourself, sir.
So you can see I've uploaded. Okay, I'm coming. It is open. So let me just close it. It's reacting that it is open. So Let me close it and re-upload. Can you still view my interface?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Okay, so I want to re-upload. Okay. You can see it is uploaded. In readiness for instruction, said, ask anything. Tell me anything. Bro, tell me anything, I will do it for you. So it's ready. So I'll now go back to my prompt, the instruction. The first thing you do in any academic research is to ask either SPSS, Tata, and everything to conduct what is called reliability test. Because if you are using a data that is not reliable, your result will be erroneous. So I now said, use the updated data set to compute reliability test, particularly Cronbach alpha. We all know that when you are talking about reliability, you are talking about Cronbach alpha test. So this algorithm understood what you are talking about. So I only added instruction explanation so that there won't be issue. And asking ChatGPT
This one.
to conduct a Cronbach alpha test for you, you only focus on the key variables that underpin your research. And what are the key variables? If you go back to the slide I showed you, they are the independent variable, dependent variable, moderating variable, and you may also add your control. But control most times doesn't add anything, because when you say something is control, we are not really using it to make any informed decision in that particular model. So I have added only one control, and that is type of respondent, TOR. PFM, which is performance, is the dependent variable. ET, which is what we call the environmental turbulence, is the moderating. Then EL is the first independent variable. Then EO is the second moderating variable. So if I don't want to have a control variable, I'll just remove the TOR. So I'll just remove it. So in this context, I want because the things that I measure that I want to interpret in the research are basically these four. Dependent variable, which is the performance of SME. The two independent variable, EL, entrepreneurial leadership, EO, which is entrepreneurial orientation, then the moderating variable, which is the environmental turbulence. So after, evaluating my instrument, which is the questionnaire, is going to tell me if my questionnaire is reliable or not. That is the reason why you should first test the reliability of your instrument by examining the functionality, strength of all the variables that underpin your research. So click now. You now click. So it's click. You can see that it's doing background analysis, check, and so many other things that we may not be able to see. So he came up with his own Excel table. Then after that, you see so let's go. So it's still trying to understand, manipulate. It's not magic. It's doing some things in the background before the result is produced for us. So it takes about 1 to 2 minutes, which is faster than what SPSS and some others will do. So you can see, it said below are the reliability results. The reliability result is using the scale in the questionnaire. SPFM, performance, ET, moderating variable, EL, independent variable, then EO, the second independent variable. You can see My Chrome batch alpha is 0.79, which is 79% result. Then in the benchmark in statistics, when you have your Chrome batch alpha, which is 0.90, that is the peak you can reach. Excellent internal consistency. 0.80 to 8.9, that is 80% to 89%, that is good. Then my own is 0.7 to 0.79, which is acceptable. Acceptable. Even for undergraduate research, you can still accept 0.5, but it is poor. Even at master's level, 0.6 is still good, but it's questionable. But when you have 0.7 above, it is very, very good. So you can see, this is the interpretation. The obtained Chrome batch alpha of 0.75 indicate acceptable to good internal consistency, which means that my instrument is good. It is capturing what I requested it to capture by 79%. This suggests that performance, environmental turbulence, entrepreneurial leadership, entrepreneurial orientation are sufficiently correlated and reliably measure a common underlying construct. So the case demonstrates adequate reliability in readiness for empirical analysis. You can use regression, you can use SEM, PLS, you can use factor analysis, and at the end of the day, you can come up with a policy and entrepreneurship research context explanation. So all this I didn't ask, but it's trying to tell me the implication of what I have done for research. Said the internal consistency of the instrument was assessed using Chrome batch alpha. The result shows so this is the explanation you provide regarding your reliability. So this is, if you copy this, for instance, it's going to have a plagiarism implication, because these are not your words. You can just rework, but there are some things you can't change. Chrome batch alpha cannot be changed, coefficient cannot be changed, 0.79 cannot be changed. Then your construct PFN can be changed because it's you develop them. They are from my instruction. EL cannot be changed. EL is EL, EO is EL. So, and this indicates acceptable internal consistency. Therefore, or thereby confirming that my measurement scale is reliable, I can now progress to the next stage of my research. So we have conducted internal, consistency test, which is also called reliability test. The next one is now to test for descriptive statistic. Descriptive statistics. So copy the instruction. Can you see the second instruction? All this mean, mode, median, blah, blah, blah. Skewness, kurtosis, minimum, maximum. So we now want it to do that for us. So go back to your instruction, copy it, then go back to the interface. So this is the interface. You come back to the interface. You are not re-uploading. The first uploading, that data is there. Now you go to the second instruction, put it there, and say, compute the descriptive statistic. That is my location, age, educational qualification, the professional working experience, the type of SMEs that investigated, the type of respondent that filled that particular questionnaire, the performance, the environmental turbulence, the entrepreneurial leadership, and the entrepreneurial orientation using the uploaded data set. So I click. So it's going to take a minute or less than a minute to do what you are going to do for about maybe 10 hours of hard work. So, and whatever it gives you, if you are not satisfied, you ask. For instance, it may give me the result alone and interpret. And I say, no, produce the table for me, so that I will copy the table, or you export the table in Excel. It's going to export. You are going to see that. I will, so that the data that is exported, you can use them as your appendix. Then you copy them and put them in the body of your work. They are not plagiarism because they are purely data analysis. So this type of table for descriptive can be copied right from the interface, or you request that it should be produced in Excel because your lecturer wants to see the Excel. If you are copying, this is where you copy. Look at it. It said copy. So, but before we do the copy or the Excel, it has given us the result. The variables, this is the N, that is the number of observations. You call it count, observation, or N. So the number of items. So those are the names. For the minimum, for LOC is 1, and the maximum is 8. 8 countries participated, so the maximum is 8. Then for age, there are 5 age brackets, the first one and the 5th. For education, there are 5 categories, maybe ND, HND, first degree, master's, and PhD. For professional working experience, the scale is also 5, maybe 0 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, and so on and so forth. So that's the meaning of minimum, maximum, standard deviation, skewness, kurtosis. So it has given us all this. So this is the interpretation which I just made. The sample size is 223 respondents. Standard deviation is moderate from the table. If you want the explanation to be deeper, you can ask. For instance, I'm not satisfied with the explanation. I can request that provide more detailed explanation in plural for the descriptive. So you see what it's going to give us more detailed. You can see these are more detailed explanation. It's talking about each central tendency, your minimum, maximum. So you can see on location, it's telling you the implication of location, implication of age, implication of education, then the professional working experience, type of SMEs, type of ownership. The reason why it's changing the word is that I didn't define that TOR means type of respondent. It's telling me it's type of ownership. Those are simple things that you can correct on your own. Then, what is the explanation for PFM? What is the explanation for entrepreneurial turbulence? Because I didn't define it. It interpreted it to be training, but it is turbulence. If you want to correct it, you can just specify that this is going to correct it and rewrite. So then the skewness. How do you interpret the skewness? Skewness simply means the shape of that particular curve in terms of bell shape from left to right. Left is usually negative, right is usually positive. So for all the variables, it's explaining it. But in statistics, you may not be so detailed. You know, the script is just to describe those variables before you start working on them. So you cannot ask to write the report in form of a journal. You can say 100 words, 200 words, 300 words, among others. For instance, I want the descriptive to be, I say export the descriptive in Excel format and write the report in 200 words. So look at everything up there. I said, first export it for me. So just continue to watch. For those who need evidence, how did you analyze? Where is the Excel? You need to put it in the appendix. Don't just copy something. It's going to do it. Coming, my battery is low. Okay. So it takes maybe 1 or 2 minutes because it wants to generate all those things. Can you see the Excel? Can you see it? Are you there?
Yes, we've seen it.
Yes.
So if you
Yeah,
click
I
on
can see it.
yeah, if you click it, it's going to produce it for you. Can you see it?
Yes,
It's
Prof.
already open. Yeah, it's already opened. This is it. So this is what you now copy and put in your table. Can you see it?
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
So you can copy it and then put it in your work, then keep it in a folder for your appendix. So that is how you, then I said, now summarize the result for me. Write a report. You can see the report, 200 words. Said descriptive statistic we are computed and summarize this characteristic, blah, 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 all this statistical term. Then so you put this in your report, then try to work on the paraphrasing so that you own it. But the table in figure in Excel cannot be paraphrased. What you are generating in Excel is what you are going to, what you have generated with ChatGPT is what Amos is going to give you, is what SPSS will give you. So, but anything written in words, try as much as possible to paraphrase in your own words, you know, so that it becomes, your own permanently. So it's not asking you that if you want that I can format the table in APA or for Scoopus Journal. The table is just generated. There's a way you put it in your article to conform with APA, but we don't need that. If you need, I can do that in future. We still have more things to do. So we have concluded what is called the descriptive. The next thing is to now generate, because when you generate the descriptive table in Excel, your lecturer may want you to come up with what we can call charts. You know, chart is always very beautiful. So I now said, generate chart based on this variable. All these variable, yes, we are giving us the report, everything, but we want you to produce them in charts. So let's see. It's going to produce charts, beautiful charts for location, for age, for type of respondent, because chart is always very good and it is something that you can visualize. And that is where the word visualization emanates from in the world of data analytics that is very popular now. It's not new. It's just your descriptive in chart, in table. But now they want it to be visualized and the explanation, simplified for making strategy, decision, and operational, day-to-day activities. So it's going to generate the chart for us, for the key variables for which we have, you can see, is this not beautiful?
It is.
It is, sir.
Yes,
It is.
This is your
Well,
age
this is
distribution, and you can
beautiful.
copy it. You can copy it. It's not plagiarism. This is what SPSS will generate. This is what Amos will generate, eView, among others. So you can see. So you can interpret what the data is saying. That is the power of chart. This chart that it has produced, you can now write. It said I can even generate separate chart for it, which it has generated it. And if you want the explanation for it can also do it for you. Although we have done it earlier on under descriptive. But if you still want it to be done, it can do that for you. And that is why it's asking you how to use this chart in your thesis and what. So it can also guide you on how to use it. For instance, the explanation, you say figure X, blah, 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 blah. So if I want all this chart to be, it said export all. If you want to export it, you can export it. You can also copy it. For instance, I want to copy EO. Just right click on it. You can see copy image. And you put it in your report is going to remain beautiful, untouched. It will be shining table, not, useless table that people design these days. So this is how to complement your descriptive statistic with visualization. So let's move on. The next thing to be done is after providing us with I now want explanation. Provide written explanation for each descriptive statistics. We have done it earlier on, but I still want to, because this is a teaching platform. So say provide written explanation for each descriptive statistic stroke chart. Let me add chart so that we enjoy it. So let it now provide written explanation. So most people who are in ND, HND, at their level, they want them to be able to use descriptive statistics. This is the explanation of that chart. The variable LOC has 223 observations, that is number of participants, indicating complete data coverage. Value range from 1 to 8, as you can see in that particular table. The distribution is moderately positively skewed. That is, if you look at the way the distribution is given, it tends towards the right. So these are the explanation of all the table. For thesis, you can go deeper in this way, but for article, you do a sort of generalized explanation. So overall, this is overall. Across all the chart and statistic, skewness and kurtosis value fall within acceptable region. The ones that are usually problematic from all the descriptives are usually skewness and kurtosis. When they are not good, then you have to go back to your data and do some amendments and improvement. But in our own case, they are very good, so we don't have problem. So now we have completed the reliability test. We have also completed what is called the descriptive. Let's now move to the diagnostic. Because before you can conduct your correlation and regression, you need to do what is called diagnostic statistic. It is borrowed from medicine. Before you give somebody medication, what we call drug in Nigeria, Americans will call it medication. If you call it drug in US, they will think you are talking about cocaine. So you need to first conduct tests in the laboratory to know if the malaria is actually malaria fever, typhoid fever, dengue fever, or other type of fever. Similarly, before you run what we can call inferential statistics on which you base prediction, explanation, conclusion, you must do what is called diagnostic statistics. Let's diagnose our data and see if the assumption for carrying out inferential statistics, particularly regression, is met. So all these are the things that are necessary. The VIF, the multi-coloniality, and some others. So let's see them one after the other. So I've listed all of them. There should be about 5 or 6. Okay, but I summarized the key ones and I matched some. So we are going to do 3 activities. The first one is, let's check the multi-coloniality. That is, if the independent variable can actually, correlate, can explain one another. So let's see. So, yeah, so click. So it's going to generate the table. When the table is not generated, ask, produce the table and all the coefficients, then the explanation. So don't always stress yourself with the explanation of some of these concepts. You learn them even on the platform. That what is heteroscedasticity? What is multicoloniality? What is vector inflation factor? and all this is going to tell you what they mean as you continue to learn using ChatGPT. So it's trying to do the multicollinearity for us, which is a precondition before you conduct regression analysis. So you can see, yeah. It said below is your vector inflation factor, which is how to understand if something has multicollinearity or not. So you can see, we put in so many data, but when it comes to vector inflation factor, only the independent variable are to be measured. You can see it removed PMF because it's a dependent variable and left EL, the first independent variable, EO, the second independent variable, and also added the moderating variable. Moderating variable and mediating variable are special independent variable, but they don't call them independent variable, but they are treated in research when you are calculating vector inflation factor as independent because they behave like independent variable. They are not dependent variable. They also impact dependent variable like independent. So you can see now, this is the table. It said the constant term is excluded, because it's not part of it. So you can see the interpretation. Commonly acceptable threshold for VIF are, it should be less than 3, less or equal to 3. Then between 3 and 5 is acceptable. Greater than 5, potentially a problem. Greater than 10 is and if you look at this interpretation benchmark, you see that all our results, actually met that threshold. None is more than 5. None is more than 5. You can see. This is the explanation. So this is telling you that you are on the right track. No variable exceed. So no problematic issue. Regression is assured. We can then progress. So it's telling you the implication when you are writing your methodology, what you have conducted, that I carried out multicollinearity tests, and the value is blah, 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 which is an indication that I met one of the conditions for linear regression. I met one of the conditions. So let's go to the second one. Then test normality. Is the data normal? Then all the things that are used in normality, show us so that my supervisor will know that my data is actually normal. I've made the normality assumption. So test the normality of residual from regression model using statistical tests like Shapiro, Wilkie, and visualization like histogram and QQ plot. Either of the 3 will measure normality, but I want you to give me the 3. I want the 3 and provide me with explanation. So click. So it's clicked. So it's going to generate everything and explain for you. So the only thing you need to bother yourself now with is writing your results and ensuring that there is no plagiarism. We assume you have written your chapter 1, your chapter 2, your chapter 3 methodology, but now you are feeding in the results, which is the most problematic for lecturers and students, and which we are trying to demystify using ChatGPT. So it's going to give you what some people, have been doing for 6 months. We are going to do that within a couple of minutes today. So maximum 2 minutes is going to generate everything. You can export, you can copy. You see, this is the histogram of regression residual. Test of normality. You can see that it is normal. If you are using Q-plot, this is the Q-plot. Then if you are using statistical, the test of Shapiro-Wilk, this is it. Shapiro-Wilk shows that the W statistic is 0.99. Then the p-value is 0.22. What is the interpretation? The null hypothesis of Shapiro test is that the data are normally distributed. Since p-value of 0.22 is less than the 0.5, which is the p-value for acceptance or rejection. We fail to reject null hypothesis. This indicates no statistical evidence of non-normality. That is, our data is normal using three different approaches. And if you want the explanation to be detailed, this is it. Said the normality regression residual was assessed using Shapiro and visual inspection, using histogram and Q-plot. We use three things. One suffices, but we use three. So the Shapiro-Wilk test yield a non-significant result. That is the Shapiro coefficient of 0.99 at P greater than 0.005. So the Shapiro coefficient is greater than 0.005, which is the benchmark for acceptance or rejection. So indicating that the residual is normal. Our data, when you plot it, it is normal. And when it is normal, then it is a good, data for carrying out our correlation, our regression, anything we want to do. So, which is very, very good. So, but we are not done. We still have to carry out checks for heteroscedasticity in the residual of my regression model using Brecht-Pagan test and White test. Either of the two will be used. So they are going to be carried out, and we are going to be given you can see, even after the last exercise, ChatGPT is also telling us that you need to test this. You can see, using this. So it's also telling me that you should. So let's do the test of, as rightly mentioned, but I have what is called the prompt. This is the prompt. I may also add to it. Okay. Let me add this also to it. So now click. After all these results have been carried out, they are like conducting tests for malaria, for typhoid fever, for HIV. So at the end of the day, the doctor will tell you that we have done a comprehensive diagnostic of your system and you are good to travel. They now give you a clean medical record. That is what diagnostic, is doing in statistics, telling us that we are good to carry out what is called ordinary least square test or regression test. Most of us, we rush into regression without carrying out diagnostic test. So in the world of statistics, before you jump into your inferential statistic, you must do diagnostics. You can see residual versus fittest value. So you can use eView, you can use Tata, they will still produce the same result. Because what ChatGPT is doing is using all those resources in the background to do this thing for you. So this is heteroscedasticity, measurement of, heteroscedasticity, that is to test if the variance are really constant over time. So the White test, this is the result, this is the interpretation. Then the linearity assumption is given in the fittest stroke residual plot. This one, this is how it is tested. The residual versus the fittest. You look at them, how the data interact, the residual and the fitted value. You can see that everything is scattered and it's not really clustered. It's scattered and, it looks very good. So overall, this is the interpretation. Diagnostic tests we are conducted to assess heteroscedasticity, linearity, independence, error. So the Brecht-Pagan and White test yielded non-significant results, indicating the absence of heteroscedasticity. Visual inspection of the residual versus fitted value also confirmed linear relationship and between the predicted and the dependent. Predictor simply means independent variable. That's another word, the predictor. The predicted is the dependent variable. So furthermore, Dobbins-Watson statistic suggests no autocorrelation in the residual. Overall, the regression models satisfy the key classical regression assumption, which are 5. So it means our test is clean. We can now conduct what most of us rush to conduct, which is the regression. So, but before the regression, I want us to do the correlation. So, always do the correlation after your diagnostic, because correlation is very, very good, but it shows, you know, the direction of relationship, but we cannot really use it for prediction. It is only regression that can predict. So let's now conduct correlation. So this is our correlation. I'll also request the algorithm to give us the correlation matrix, both in Excel and also in chat. Both are very, very good in your thesis or your article. It makes it very beautiful. So the world is watching what we are doing, and that's a plus for clean. So this is the correlation matrix. This is the interpretation of the Pearson, and this is the explanation of it. So you can write this on your own. The relationship. But I want the produce correlation matrix. In visualization charts and write a comprehensive report. So let's see this. So I also request after this to produce the detailed correlation matrix, even showing the number of variables and the p-value, then to export in Excel. But I want you to provide the visualization of the correlation matrix first, so that you see how powerful the algorithm is. And it's going to enhance your result. You can see this is correlation matrix. So this is correlation matrix, which most people struggle to design. Some will sketch. So this is the explanation of our correlation results. So this is what you need to explain your correlation. Now, produce the results of the correlation in Excel, showing all the variables, p-values, and number of counts, etc. So I want you to show that beautiful table that your supervisor wants to see, or you put as appendix, you know, at the end of your thesis, among others, or you want to copy it neatly in APA format and put it inside your article, the way it's normally embedded in article. So I want you to give us the Excel version, which is going to give us now, not just showing it on the screen. The one on the screen can be copied and it's going to appear beautifully in your MS Word, but for authenticity, for those who are inquisitive, you know, they still want to see the Excel, you know, output. We call it output. So it's going to give you shortly. And after correlation, we now go to the regression analysis. It could be generalized regression or ordinary least square. But from our diagnostic, what we have done satisfied ordinary least square statistical techniques and the generalized regression analysis. So it's taking its time because I gave it a lot of job. So it should be ready shortly. There are times it may be due to network quality. So one more exercise after this, after correlation, one more activity before I will now conclude. So I'm trying to recopy, maybe network. I want to somehow refresh or request again. So I want to terminate the ongoing. It's taking too much. It shouldn't be. So when you have things like this, you can stop it and then request all over again. So I want to pause, ask again. So because it shouldn't be more than 1 minute, it's taking time. So network. So we should get it shortly. Okay, sorry. I should have added exports. Exports, I put, what I wanted was actually export, not produce. It's already produced. So. Okay. It's already produced, but I want it to export it. So there are some things you need to learn here that once you give the wrong instruction, it will be confused. Exports, the result of the correlation showing also. It's just like human being. When you ask stupid question, we also look stupid. So I've given the right issue. I want you to export first. I didn't put that word export. So it's going to export it now. So we have actually concluded our analysis, but I want it to give me in form of Excel so that I'll be able to download and use it for some other very important use. So we should be able to get it now. So it's working in the background to put everything together in the way we want. So things you do in Excel, starter is being done in the background and the result is being produced for you. It's not as if ChatGPT is a standalone tool. No, it leverages other tools, R, Python, starter, and so many other things to be able to give you whatever it is requested to produce. Yeah. Can you see? Can you all see the output? This is
Yes,
it.
sir.
So once you click on this table, so let me click and show you. So it's downloaded already. Can you see? Yeah. This is it. So this is what it has done. So let's go back to you remember correlation is going to correlate the relationship between the dependent variable and all the independent variable, then among all the independent variable, but the correlation matrix is what you need. Correlation matrix is what you need. So produce correlation matrix. We have it up in image, but we still need it in Excel. So what it gave us is all the correlation, but we want it in a matrix form. The matrix form is already interpreted, given, but for the purpose of developing your appendix for thesis, you need to have all this Excel. So that's the reason why I try to be as systematic as possible so that you have all your files. The one produced is good, everything, it analyzes the correlation between the two independent variable and dependent variable, and then among the independent variable and also among the independent variable and the moderating variable, everything analyzed for you. So while we are waiting for the correlation matrix to be provided, we should be warming up for the regression. We should be warming up for the regression. So I want you to produce it before I go to the regression. After your correlation in data analysis, the next one is regression. The next one is regression. So let me copy the regression prompts while waiting. So this is the regression prompt. Run regression analysis, copied, and that's the final one for today. We have our detailed correlation result already in Excel, but I just want you to also benefit from the correlation matrix, the one that, you know, we're actually interpreting that fits into what we are doing, not the entire, you know, correlation, you know, analysis, so to speak. So this is the one we are waiting for, which is already producing image. This you can see, this is what is called correlation matrix. This is already an image. I want you to have this in Excel. So that is what I just requested for. So it's still being done. It's taking its time. Another alternative is to download that, the one in image, then upload to be converted to Excel. It's going to do the same thing. So the network is also weak. I think the network is also weak. That is why it's taking. So let me give it 1 more minute before we progress to the, should be able to have it in a few seconds. After 1 minute, I'm going to terminate the, so that we'll go to regression if it's not. Okay. So this is, so it's already downloaded. So we have been given, the correlation matrix is already produced. This is it. It's already produced. You can download and export it. This is it, the one we want. So now, the final state, run the regression analysis on the data set by examining the relationship among the variables. PMF is dependent, blah, blah, blah. So run and then provide the results. So if you don't conduct diagnostic, your regression result will be misleading. So that is why we have taken our time to take us through the correct approach for conducting quantitative data analysis. All the things required, we have covered it, from reliability, descriptive, diagnostic, then we now concluded with the regression analysis itself. You can see, before you conduct regression analysis, you must specify the model. You know, even in my data, I said the dependent variable is PMF. The first independent variable is EL. The second independent variable is EO. Then the ET is our, it stated the ET as the third independent variable. You can request that it is actually a moderating variable. Okay. Yeah, it's still treated as moderating. So this is the results. But I want this model amended. Rewrite the ET properly as a moderating variable, not an independent variable. So I want you to rewrite, although it's going to generate another one. Then rerun the regression. So as a researcher, I queried the model specification. I queried it, although I actually understood what it has done. But for learners, I want you to specify it correctly. It has done it in the background, but for learner, it should be reflected properly. It should be reflected properly. So whenever there is an error that you spot, you ask the ChatGPT. You can see, yeah, this is it. So you can see, because we have a moderating variable, moderation should show this. You can see, since we have two independent variables, then there should be two separate information that shows that we have a moderation. That moderating variable called ET will moderate EL, will also moderate ET. So this is the proper one. You can see. So this is the correct results. Yeah, this is the correct result. So we have concluded. Now, I now want the ChatGPT to write full reports. Write a full report on our data analysis with all the tables, charts, and interpretation. In readiness for publication in APA, okay, in Scopus index journals. Use APA referencing APA style for the tables. So let's see what it's going to give us. So this marks the end of our activity. So all the things we have done is going to write a full report. And if you want that report to be given to you, you can export. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So this
sir.
is data analysis
Yes, sir.
result. Data analysis chapter 4. You can see chapter analysis. Sample data. It wrote on sample data. We discussed this descriptive. You remember? This is the descriptive result. This is how it's going to show in APA format. That's the interpretation. This is reliability result, the Cronbach alpha. This is the correlation result matrix that we requested. You can see it's now appearing in the matrix form. Readiness for publication. All these data, they are not plagiarism. The only thing you need to work on is the language. Our multicollinear diagnostic, it has produced it. Put the table there. Then regression analysis, it has given us the table and the moderatory regression that shows the first independent variable, second independent variable, then the mediating variable and the moderating variable. In case you want to change your mind, you want to have a third independent variable, the ET is there. But if you want to treat them strictly as moderator, this is it, moderator 1, moderator 2. Then this is the interpretation, the simplified. If you want the one that will show the figure, the coefficient, and so is going to give you, but this is the one that you need in a journal. But if you want the one in a thesis, it will be more detailed. So all the exports in terms of visualization, you can reproduce them. It's going to give you everything for writing your. So let me reshare my slide to conclude because of time. The MC, are you there?
Yes, sir. Prof, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, so I want to conclude. So let me just conclude, because there are some things I want to tell you. So here, this is what I skipped earlier on. For the essay aspect of ChatGPT, you need to be professional because we are all lecturers. Anything you leave, either in Wikipedia, in ChatGPT, is going to have two things. The first one is what is called digital footprint. When you copy those things, there are some things you may not see it. They are there, like X, like star, like ash. All these are digital footprints, which plagiarism software like Turnitin will look out for to detect that this is not your work. So try to do what is called proofreading. You rewrite, you reword, you rephrase. So how do you do that? I developed a methodology for my students and also for my university. I presented this globally. It is called CREP strategy. CREP strategy are a set of principles that I consistently advise researchers to follow while using ChatGPT to ensure that their work aligns with academic value. When you follow it, it's going to remove digital footprint from your articles. It's going to reduce what is called the plagiarism or similarity index. So, and the principle is basically that you reward, you rework, and you paraphrase repeatedly to own it because you have your own style of writing. CREP is based on number one principle, C, creatively. You write creatively as a lecturer. Then, because we are lecturers, we are not expected to engage ourselves in academic theft. So you embrace our principle, responsible. You should be a responsible writer. Then E, you should be ethical. Use ChatGPT, use any tool, but you must be ethical. There should be ethicality in the usage. And finally, we should be professional. Everything you leave, you must cite it properly, reference it properly, then use your own professional style. Professor Nwosu is known by his way he writes. Achebe is known by his own pattern of writing. Wole Soyinka is known by his own pattern of writing. But if you allow machine to write for you, machine will write in machine language. And you are going to suffer three things. One, embarrassment because machine language is detected from your work and you may be sanctioned. Then number three, you lose your own originality. So if you generate something from ChatGPT, 3,000 words, it is still 3,000 words, but not your own. Try to paraphrase, rephrase, put in your own words, at least for every 15 words in a sentence, let your own be 7. The 8 cannot be changed because they are registered terms and some of the terms used by the original person that frame that particular sentence or statement. This is very, very important. So finally, technology will not replace great teacher like you, but technology in the hands of great teacher can be transformational. That is a quote by George Couros. Thank you for your rapt attention.
Oh, thank you, Prof. This is a wonderful session. Thanks. May Almighty God continue to bless you abundantly and your wonderful family. So, for those of us interested in the hello, wait, hold on. Before the question and answer, for those of us that are interested in the certificate, you can get the certificate. We are going to produce a certificate for you at the rate of 5,000 naira. Then it also comes with the materials. However, the recording of the videos will be on our YouTube page. You can go there to learn about all. We have a lot of beneficial videos. Last time, Prof taught us how to use ChatGPT for qualitative analysis. So all aspects of qualitative analysis is there. So you can go there and watch the videos and learn one or two things. Also, before we open the floor for question and answer session, we'll be launching a training session that will be coming up around February and March. It's a 1-month training program. In that training programs, one, you have options of one, learning systematic literature review, hands-on, or bibliometric analysis. So you are going to choose one. Either you are taking systematic literature review or bibliometric analysis. You now also have the opportunity to also learn one advanced statistical method. For example, you can pick panel data analysis, time series, smart structural equation modeling, qualitative analysis, or meta-analysis. All these section will be hands-on, and it will be a 4 weeks programs. And the price for the program is 50,000 naira. You are going to get the certificate, you are going to get the slide, you are going to get the video, and then the lecturers too will be with you for the 4 weeks program. And after the programs, a WhatsApp platform will be created so that if you need some clarification, maybe when you are writing your thesis or you are running analysis, you can always ask from the facilitator even after the program. So at this juncture, we are going to open the floor for question and answer session. So if you have a question, kindly raise up your hand. Dr. Kingsley, you have the floor. Then after Dr. Kingsley, Dr. Nancy, you can, Dr. Kingsley, unmute yourself and answer your question.
Hello? Okay.
Dr. Kingsley, unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay. Dr. Nancy, you can go ahead before Dr. Moshu Sani.
Yeah, good morning,
Nancy.
sir. Good morning, Prof.
Morning, Nancy. My pleasure.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Clearly, I can.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, you're audible enough.
Hello?
Hello, Nancy. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you're audible enough.
Okay, Prof. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you, Prof. Salukman Raimi. You're a teacher. God bless you. My question is, I saw that the Chromback Alpha reliability test, you just did it once and giving us one particular figure. I was thinking that those variables, are going to be captured independently. That's my question, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a very good question. So
Did you get my question?
you can request that each should be captured independently. Usually, if you use SPSS, PSPP is going to, this one can also do it for you independent, but when you measure reliability, we still need the totality. Each construct will be analyzed. It can do it for you. But for the purpose of this exercise, we need the final judgment on that particular instrument. That is, all the dependent variable, independent variable, and everything, but not on each individual one. If you want to report on each individual one, you ask that it should write reports and produce the Chrombat Alpha for each construct. It's going to do it. It's going to do it. So it's a very good question. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, can I go now? This is Kingsley. I think I had an issue with my connection earlier.
Yeah,
Yes,
please
yes,
go ahead.
you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for the wonderful lecture. I had two observations I wanted to make. The first one is the one the lady just spoke about now.
Yeah.
I am not quite satisfied with your answer. Chromback Alpha reliability measures the internal consistency of items. Those items are the observed or indicator variables or constructs. So it measures the extent to which each of the items together measure the same underlying construct. In other words, without each of the items in that your instrument for a particular construct, say, for example, entrepreneurial orientation. If you had used 5 items to measure entrepreneurial orientation, without those items, the system cannot reliably compute a Cronbach alpha reliability score or figure. So what that figure you eventually got, which measured all the variables, the Cronbach alpha for all the variables, was psychrometrically not useful at all for the purpose of data analysis. So Cronbach alpha measures each construct one by one, the inter-items variance and covariance and relatedness of each of the constructs. So that's one observation I wanted to make, but I think I will leave the other observation. It was a great time of learning, but I've seen some PhD students from even my school who are here, and I think that is important not to mislead them. Then maybe let me just mention for a few seconds, mention this quickly. I want to also observe that the use of AI for data analysis and interpretation is a very tricky thing that should be carefully used only by people who know how the research process works, who understand statistics very well, and who can spot AI hallucinations and error. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a very good observation. I'm a teacher and also I'm a learner. Confidently, what we have done is satisfactory and fit international best practice. So what you are talking about is a very important area. The data I gave you is already streamlined. Do you understand? So if you want to understand the component of each construct, EL is a known instrument. I'm a professional in that particular field. There are about 6, items. EO has about 6 also, some literature 5, but for purpose of test, 3 are usually very popular. Do you understand? So all those who are in the primary Excel document for the purpose of running what we call the test of reliability. But for other analysis, when you are doing other analysis, you don't put in all the information in that particular cell. You are expected to have compressed. When you say EL, for the purpose of teaching people, you must have compressed them for the purpose of having a particular variable. For instance, if you say EO, you can't put 3 items under EO. You are now measuring component of EO, not EO anymore. EL has about 5. If you are putting 5 items under EL, you are no more measuring EL. You are measuring a component of EL, which you can do in your hypothesis testing. That under EO, creativity or innovation performs better than creativity. But that is not what we are doing in a serious research of this particular nature. So for the purpose of teaching, the data has been streamlined. But for those who are in education or some other areas, you want to go into specificity, then you can follow the approach that you have mentioned. So, and secondly, the comment you have also made is also good. And that is why when I get even a particular answer that is not satisfactory, I will probe further that do this. For instance, the AI treated ET as an independent variable. But for those who know statistics, in my specification, it is a special type of independent variable, but not independent variable. It's called moderating. And I said, rewrite in the proper form, and it was able to rewrite in the proper. So your comment is very, very good. And that is why we are teaching those who don't know it, that when AI makes mistake, professionals should be able to guide AI. But overall, AI, despite its mistake, is more intelligent than the best professor in the world. That's a fact which cannot be controverted.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for the response. Also, in addition to the issue of commercial alpha as regards the issue of item analysis, it depends on the kind of analysis you are running. For
Exactly.
example, let's assume you are using structural equation model. If you look at the nature of regression or correlation, you are using the whole construct. So definitely, when you want to report, you are expected to report reliability for them, and not focusing on the item analysis. However, assuming you are running a structural equation modeling, that is where you may need to look into the item. And even when it comes to the issue of structural equation model, it depends on the kind of model you are using. For example, if you are using a second order model, you still need to come and report to us a construct based on brush alpha. So it depends on the requirements of the analysis you are using and the nature of the type of analysis you are. That will determine maybe you are looking for the item or you are going to report but for structural equation modeling, sometimes you may require to report the item. Sometimes even beyond the item, you still need to report the construct for the construct also. Thanks. Then I think I have Moshood Sonny and Tokwe. So let's Moshood Sonny, you can unmute yourself.
From Moshood Sonny, somebody sent a very important question which I don't want to miss. And that question relates to, can ChatGPT give you references? What we have done today is data analysis. So it shouldn't give you references, but what you may ask is the tool with which we run our analysis, you can ask ChatGPT. At times it will tell you that it has used Python. At times it will tell you it has used R. At times it will tell you that it has used SPSS. Because I'm an educator and a researcher, I always love to be transparent. For instance, I just asked ChatGPT that for this one, I put in this. I said, what statistical tool did you use in the background in your algorithm? So I'll produce the answer now. You see it. So he said, thank you for your word. Here is a clear transmission. He said, statistical algorithm behind the analysis. He said, Python-based econometric and statistical library. That's exactly what it used. So in other words, all the things that we have done today are based on Python. And if you also use SPSS or PSPP or Jamovi, it's going to give you the same results. Because I've actually taught research analysis even last semester. We challenge some of the findings here using SPSS and PSPP. It produced the same results. It produced the same results. So issue of doubting what you are doing is not really something to be doubted, because this is algorithm. And if you want even some of the syntax used in writing a model specification, if you copy it from ChatGPT and put it in Starter, it's going to give you the same result. Just to tell you, and to also re-echo what Professor Kingsley mentioned earlier on, that when using ChatGPT, you must be good in statistics. You must be good in statistics. So that when you spot error, you say, this is error. There are some things we do in our statistical analysis, maybe in our undergraduate, even in PhD level. If you write article like that in Scooper's ABTC journal, you are going to get text rejection. You don't teach, for instance, some of these editors, you write about half a page on reliability, item by item, they are going to throw it away. What they want you to report is the final, reliability result based on benchmark. Do you meet 0.7, 0.8, 0.9? That is what they want you to report, not item by item. So, but what you need to do is know the tool you have used. Is it Python? Is it R? Is it SPSS? Is it Jamovi? So that you'll be able to put that at the bottom of your table, that maybe in the area of source, you say starter, Jamovi, SPSS, or SEM. You know, all these are very, very important. So let's go to another question. Moderator.
Good morning. Sonny, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. I really learned a lot during in this session. Like, I'm not expecting anything later from you because I know you're professional in this field. So I will go to you to watch the qualitative aspect of it. But I want to ask this question that I think you have retrieved this question what I want to ask, but I just want to put it to voice it. Can I just say that using SPSS compute or help me to analyze this instead of me asking ChatGPT after the session, after the producing the result that what statistical did you use? I don't know if you get the question, sir.
Yeah, you see, for me, I have all these tools that you are talking about, SPSS, Jamovi. But one thing you will realize is that ChatGPT, the philosophy of ChatGPT and other AI is to democratize knowledge. So many students in Nigeria cannot afford NVivo, Mazda Q8, QDA. They are very expensive. When I did my PhD, I needed Amos. Before then, there was no smart PLS, which has simplified structural equation modeling. It was difficult. Even PhD holder, professors of statistics in more than 3 Nigerian universities couldn't run structural equation modeling when I did my PhD. They have heard about it. The only tool that can run structural equation modeling then were 2. Amos is add-on to SPSS, very expensive. My university bought it $1,500 US for me. So which university will buy that for you? But now you have Smart PLS SEM. It will simplify. Even Smart PLS SEM, they are very simplified. Then under Lisrel and Amos, although you are using tool, but you do a lot of manual manipulation. So that is what ChatGPT has come to do. You don't know Python, you don't know R, but does that mean you won't be able to run data analysis? No, you can run it. So it has democratized data analysis. So don't let us make it difficult. So if you want to start, you can ask ChatGPT that run this particular data using SPSS as the underlying tool. So it's going to use SPSS. Although for those who know statistics, if you use SPSS, PSPP, Jamovi, they are going to give you the same thing. But for the purpose of your lecturer who may not be satisfied that you didn't use SPSS, tell ChatGPT paid version that use SPSS approach and produce my result like SPSS output. It's going to give you. So that addresses your question, Moshood. I hope it's satisfactory.
Very well, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Dr. Balogun, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bamiro, for giving us the opportunity through your platform. And I greet Professor Raimi for his continuous activities on knowledge building. We are grateful. My 2 questions. One has been technically addressed, but I think there's this bias against the use of ChatGPT especially. I think it is very, very popular among students. Many lecturers will tell you, I've used ChatGPT for this and that, and it's not appropriate, they are rejected. So I want to know if it can be quoted when you are writing reports or methodologies that the analysis has been done using ChatGPT. Then the second question has to do with software triangulation.
Yeah.
Can we actually use multiple softwares to
Beautiful.
just so sure that what we are doing is...
These are the type of question that I always like. You see, when we say ChatGPT, people oversimplify the word ChatGPT. Let me share my screen so that I will demystify some things. Please look at my screen again, because people don't really look at it. People have free version of ChatGPT on their phone and laptop. And so when students talk about ChatGPT, what comes to mind is, oh, you are using that free version. For instance, look at the left here. Can you see something? Consensus?
Yes.
Look at the left.
Yes, Prof.
Can you see it? These are
Yes, sir.
integrated software from another vendor embedded into the paid version.
Yeah.
Look at this area, data analysis. This particular tool is integrated into ChatGPT. Look at Whimsical.
Wow.
This can draw any table for you, chat. Then the question you ask, that can you quote it, the information there. This Scholar cheat, look at it. Scholar is integrated into it. This Scholar GPT has 200 million resources, not Wikipedia. Resources from Francis Taylor, from Springer, from Sage, and can access Google Scholar, PMB. So whatever information you are getting here, they are not information from the roadside. Do you understand? So, but the one that the students are using are the paid version, which cannot access some of this information. So information that you get from this area is reliable. Somebody is asking for references. This is referencing a real paper, not hallucination. When you pick ChatGPT, please write about Nigeria for me. It's going to give you a combination of good, bad, and ugly, because it is hallucinating, it's harvesting from different areas. But when you come to the paid version and you come to within the ChatGPT, Scholar GPT, and ask for a particular paper, it's going to give you real paper, real citation, real DOI. If you want to even see the paper to download, it's going to download it for you. So this is the type we should encourage your student to use. But the one that the roadside mechanic are using are the paid version. Those ones are based on hallucination. It's like asking Dr. Balogun, who is not a medical doctor, what is the meaning of a particular concept in medicine? You are going to give them what we can call a roadside definition. But if you ask a real medical doctor, he's going to give you the correct professional definition. So that is why people have bias over the information from ChatGPT. So the purpose of this particular platform is to demystify, to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But in terms of reliability, you rely on the embedded, tools, which ChatGPT is also leveraging. As we speak, most of the tools that we are used to before, Canva, that helps you to draw diagram, is already embedded in this paid version of ChatGPT. So whatever you are getting is the professional information, not the roadside one. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Then I talk about triangulation.
Yeah, triangulation. Yeah. Data triangulation is very, very good. I do it a lot. I taught ChatGPT using Jamovi and also SPSS for comparison. We even copied the syntax from ChatGPT and put it in Stata. It gave the same result. It gave the same result. So at times, even the table you get in Jamovi is neater than the ones you get in SPSS. So all these are very, very good.
Aisha.
And when you have even primary data, secondary data, they can also be merged.
Yeah.
That's the way you merge it to give you a robust result. So all these are concepts of data triangulation, where you move from one data to another or using one tool to strengthen another tool. At the end of the day, data analysis is always what we can call positivist methodology. No bias, no subjectivity. Everything will complement one another and you are going to get a reliable result.
Mohammed Abbas Sani, please mute yourself.
I'm muted now.
Okay.
So,
Okay, Prof, are you done?
yeah, I'm done. Waiting for other question. Or do I go to the chat box to pick question? But there are a number of comments.
Okay,
No,
okay.
hello, good morning.
Okay, good
Morning.
morning.
Good morning, Prof. I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, currently I'm a student from Federal University of Amma conducting my research on generalizability.
Okay.
And I lack the competency actually to carry out the analysis using the R package, because I'm going to use R package Genova to analyze my data after collecting from work. Okay, sir,
Okay.
can I use the free version to install all the data collected from the work to run for the analysis? Will I actually get the same result?
You
Like
can't
the
use
one
the
you,
free version. The free version
okay,
will not allow you to upload your data, and it
okay.
asks little capability. I just showed you something now. For
Yeah, I've
instance,
seen.
look
Yeah.
at this. Look at this, my interface.
Yes, sir.
Look at this interface. This is a paid version. Look at
Okay.
this. It called this thing data analysis. Let me click it so
Okay.
you see it.
Yeah, I
It
can
said
see.
data analysis. This is not the product of ChatGPT.
Okay.
ChatGPT has actually forged alliance with so many
Yeah.
algorithms for mutually beneficial relationship. This is data
Okay.
analysis
Yes.
by ChatGPT. But this
Yeah.
particular tool is developed by another. So when you, this is not what I use for you. I use the normal ChatGPT with its own capability. I uploaded the data. If you come here, this will also do more things that the data analysis, you can see data analysis 4.0. This is what I use for
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
This is what is ChatGPT 5.0. You can see ChatGPT
Yeah.
5.0. This is what we use for them, and it gave us robust result. Then if you
Okay.
come here again, it's going to give you the same result, but this is even more powerful because this is built on R and Python.
Okay.
So when you have your results, before even starting the analysis, you can ask a
Okay.
number of questions. Upload your result
Okay.
and said, this is what I want to do. How best
Okay.
can I do it? What are the
Oh,
procedure for doing it?
I
You now
understand.
copy those procedure and you now follow it one after the other. For
Okay.
instance, I've run a data on this particular area. It said your data failed the 5 assumption of linear regression analysis. And I said, what can I do? You now gave more than 5 methods of improving your data. So you now see the one that you think you can implement. Once you implement it, at times it may ask to do data transformation.
Okay.
At times it may ask to go and add more samples. That 100 that you have added is quite insignificant, inadequate. That is why you are having, wrong result. Go and improve it to maybe 200. So when you learn all this procedure, then you now start your data, but free one cannot do it for you. You need to pay, or you go and buy the RStudio software and use it, or you give it to somebody who knows how to do it. But if you want to learn on your own, start learning the procedure on paid version of ChatGPT. Then all your results at various stages should be harvested, collected, downloaded, so that when you start your write-up, you write a very, although it can do the write-up for you after doing the analysis, say, write the report. But even after writing the report, you still need to do some human, panel beating, paraphrasing, professionalism to own it and to be familiar with what you are doing. I will not advocate that drop your data, get the result, publish it. You are going to enter into serious problem. But the benefit is that instead of spending 1 year doing your data analysis for a PhD, using some of this algorithm will reduce it to about 3 to 4 months. But you still invest time and effort. Not that put it there, generate. No. You won't master what you have produced. At the time of Viva, you are going to be, discovered not to be a master of your data and your methodology. So, but what we are advocating is access. You have access to cheaper tools, simplicity, and you master what you have done. That is what the inventors of some of these ChatGPT have done. Not that you do something, copy and paste, and just, encourage laziness. No, it is what we call democratization of knowledge and access to tools. But people are misusing it today as free and easy way of doing things. You still know what you are doing, and you present it to the admiration of audience and your peers.
But sir, I don't know if you can help me with your contact for a proper guidance so that
Hey,
after
you
the
can
class,
talk to the moderator. We discussed that later on. And the moderator has also announced a training program where some of these things will also be, done. The essence is to democratize, make Nigerians very strong in research, and everybody to be a professional, not to hide knowledge. We are not hiding knowledge here. We are not hiding skills. We are here to learn from you. We also want you to learn from us because we have much to offer.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Hello, Prof.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. This is actually thought-provoking. I actually organized the training for some participants on this same issue. And then thank God I didn't assume I know it all. I said, let me join and see if I could pick one or two. And I actually learned a lot.
Okay, that's
now,
good.
I'm also using the paid version. I'm also using the paid version.
Good. Yeah.
Yes, and I also subscribe for people for as low as 5,000 monthly.
Good.
For the paid version, yes, for as low as 5,000 shared accounts.
Yeah,
not just
shared account. I love that.
Not just ChatGPT, all other, including Turnitin, Grammarly,
so many.
All other ChatGPT 2 years. I sell it for as low as 5,000 monthly to enable people enjoy the full width and breadth of AI. All right, but the ChatGPT I use for this your own, I saw data analysis, I saw consensus by the bar there. But the one I use, I don't see that. But yet it does my analysis very well. I can upload more than 20 files, no matter the volume and all of that. But I've not seen that data analysis, that consensus. And I think I saw Gemini, something like that.
Yeah, that's a very good observation. What you can do is that you can try to check. Look at this. Can you see my cursor?
Yes, I can.
So this is maybe this is what you subscribe to. Is it 5.2?
Yes, 5.2.
Yeah, 5.2. So if you check this 5.2, there are a number of things you see under it. Maybe you have not actually. What I will do is check if it is 5.2, you see something like this, Explore GTP. Click on that particular Explore GTP. You see so many, supermarket of tools. You have not been using it. Look at it. These are the supermarket of tools you have not been using. Video AI, they are there. It's part of what you paid for. Canva is there. Scholar A1 is there. Scholar ChatGPT is there. So many things you don't need, they are there. So once you click them once, they will come up and they will stay here permanently. This is the data analysis you are talking about. Click on it, it's going to come. Consensus will come, and several others. So it's there. If it is 5.0, grammar checker is there. So they have actually integrated so many things into the paid version so that the capacity of ChatGPT will be strengthened and it will be providing more reliable, more scientific. For those who want paper and references, somebody asked, can we get references? Yes, but not just in ChatGPT because it's going to hallucinate. Go to the, come here, under this one, Scholar GPT, it has 200 million resources. Say start. Then name anything you want, maybe in For instance, we are talking about EO, entrepreneurial leadership and performance. You know, it's going to give you a real paper that you can cite. You know, this is the meaning of EO. Then Professor Nkechukwu and talk about something earlier on. You can see the measurement: innovativeness, risk-taking, proactiveness, autonomy, and competence, which I mentioned earlier on. When you sum everything together, it becomes EO. You now want people who have written on this. Look at it. Findings. Very reliable. When you click this PDF, it's going to give you the paper. So this is not hallucination. Click it, you get the paper. So whatever you generate, you can say, summarize all these ideas. Summarize. It's going to give you a citation, whether in Chicago, APA, it's going to give you. So, but if you get all these, still, you must paraphrase to own it so that your own style will be, beautifully, exhibited rather than just using the machine language. So that is my suggestion for everyone.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. I really appreciate it. In fact, from this free version, with just 4 prompts, you can write a complete article with the paid version. Just 4
but
prompts.
You still need to paraphrase. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prof.
My pleasure. So any other question before we?
I think somebody asked a question that can we also run secondary data using the ChatGPT?
You can, but you first need to specify what type of approach you are using. Because it's secondary data, is it econometric method? Which one? In econometric analysis, there are so many methods. Are you using generalized moment of regression? You are using so many for those who are in that particular area. I run management research, so but for econometrics, there are so many approach, So you need to really specify. And your data too, you need to do data transformation. It can also do data transformation from you. All your GDP, those big figures that you have gotten from the, CBN, statistical bulletin or World Bank indicator, you have to transform them to 2 decimal place or 1 decimal place, depending on what you want to do. Thereafter, you can commence the analysis.
Okay, thank you, Prof. It has been a wonderful time with you. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate the knowledge sharing, and also appreciate everyone that has been able to make it to attend the training program. Like I said, for those of us that is in need of the certificate along with the material, we are going to email the certificate and the materials to you. So at the just 5,000. The 5,000 is not just a token. If you look at it, for us to organize the program, we put in a lot of things at the background. We pay for the Zoom in USD. But the most important thing is that it's like a contribution to knowledge. Oh, okay. But Prof, can I?
Yeah.
I still have 2 hands on. Can we entertain?
Please go ahead. I'm available.
Okay. We have RRPA, and then Dr. Olumide. RRPA, you can mute yourself. Then after then we have Dr. Olumide. RRPA, you can mute yourself. Go ahead. Okay, Dr. Olumide, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Banero, for this wonderful program that you have organized this morning. I want to thank Prof. sincerely for his time. He has done great this morning. This is an eye-opening training this morning. Prof, I have maybe I should call it, I don't know, contribution.
Okay, go ahead.
In Nigeria, in this part of the world, where most of our university in Nigeria doesn't even have a policy for the use of AI. And when students want to use AI, in developed countries of the world, there are ethical use of AI. There are policies into the use of AI. But here in Nigeria, you just find out that what most students does in most occasions is that they just type something to Copilot, Copilot will just generate something. Even all the hyphen, they will not even take their time to even remove those star, hyphen, and all of everything will be jam-packed. And at the end of the day, they will not see the one you did this morning. You actually went to the feed, which was ethical. You collected the data, you kept them in an Excel, you imported those data. They will not collect any data, and they will say, "It's my research, it's my research." Say school. Those are the type of things we have been experiencing in this part of the world. So when students bring those work, that was the reason why we condemn those work. And even AI is a machine language. It's an artificial intelligence. AI, especially those unpaid AI that they are using, that they without subscription, it may even give them fake citations. The article that doesn't even exist, AI will just generate, GPT will just generate something in my name, just put another name of another journal that doesn't even exist. I want to say this morning that even when we are using even the paid version, sometimes can even give a fake citation. So as a researcher, it can simplify our work, just as Prof has said this morning. So we should adapt strictly to the ethical use of it. So it can easily help us to generate an idea. We now go back to the drawing board. Okay, what do we need? Okay, we Google again to actually find out those papers. Did they exist? Did anybody publish this paper? Where did they publish it and all of that? But where I want Prof to come in now is student supervisor relationship. When student, because those are the content they are bringing every day. So how do we address that? So that's my question, Prof.
Well, you see, I love people who are really, I've been teaching innovation management for more than 5 years. In innovation management, there is a theory called diffusion of innovation theory. It's an old theory and it's still very, very new because everything in the world regarding our attitude to innovation technology is always framed after that theory. And that's why that theory refused to go. When a new technology emerges or any process or procedure, people always reject it. Only very few people accept that particular fact. And those are the techies. Those are the innovators. And that is why when ChatGPT emerged, say it's going to take away job, it's going to make our students to be, inefficient, ineffective. It's going to make them lazy. It's going to make research very simple. No, it has only made research more interesting. So ChatGPT should not write your paper for you, but can help you transform your idea, make you have access to more, reliable paper. But because people have not been taught how to use it, the ethicality, how to use it, that is why we're having that problem. And the problem is not even limited to students alone, even lecturers too. We have seen papers published, which cited fake, references, non-existent citation. Why? Because they use free version of ChatGPT and also pay version without fact checking. Any references produced for you by ChatGPT, take that home. Tell them to write the full reference with DOI and link. Once you click that particular DOI or the link, and it takes you to that particular paper, and that paper exists, it is genuine. But I've seen instances when you click, it's going to take you to that paper, but not, and it's another paper, so there's a problem. Or you click that particular link, nothing comes up, it is fake. And that is why even within ChatGPT, I mentioned earlier, there are sites that can provide you with, reliable papers. For instance, within ChatGPT itself, look at this. this very popular I showed it earlier on. Okay, should be here. Aha. Consensus. Look at it. Even within ChatGPT, this is consensus. Consensus says you have so many papers. Mention any paper on biology. Instead of just, this is biology. So when you type the title of that particular paper you want, it's going to give you so many paper. Yeah, okay, produce articles so that I'll be able to explain clearly what I mean. Produce article. So when you now go to the consensus platform, so it's asking me if I want articles, let's say 1,000 words. Real ones. Okay. Okay, it wants which area? Okay, this area with 10 references. Okay, let's see. The fact that you are using paid version does not mean it won't hallucinate. So these are, is a well-written, okay? These are, it said, click on this. Let's see. Open. This is the paper. Can you see from ChatGPT, it has taken you to where that paper exists. This is the citing of that particular paper. It's citing it. It shows it exists. You can see the name, surname, initial, year. If you are not satisfied, copy it again, then go to Google Scholar or some other repository for research and search. For instance, I can go to Google Scholar. I'm satisfied that this is real, but I still want to, you know, satisfy my curiosity. I can drop it in Google Scholar and then search. Within Google Scholar, it says the paper exists. It's a real paper. So, but most people, once they get their result, they don't go back to do what is called fact checking. You must do fact checking. So at the end of it, instead of spending 1 year writing that paper, you spend less than 1 year, but you still do a thorough job. But because they have seen something good within 1 week, they rush to the publisher to get it published. At the end of the day, they are caught that what you have quoted does not exist. So try to do fact checking, even within ChatGPT itself. Go to consensus, from consensus, go to Google Scholar. Always insist on genuine paper. Put that word genuine. If you don't put genuine or real paper, it's going to hallucinate and create a paper and say, Tope Balogun, 2027, Nancy Chidebere, 2024, whereas those paper don't exist. So when we train people on the use of ChatGPT, we have done our findings, both on qualitative, quantitative. You know, if people ask me, do you go and buy NVivo or Atlas? I say, if you have money to waste, go and buy it. I have a shortcut of using ChatGPT to give me what NVivo will give you without buying NVivo. But you must learn it. If you don't learn it and you just rush to ChatGPT, put your document there, it's going to give you rubbish. At the end of the day, you are going to be caught and embarrassed. Try to learn it from professional and become a pro before using it for research. I think that would be my passing words today. Learn it, practice it.
Prof, to add to what you said, and there is what we call prompt engineering.
Please, let Victoria conclude. I love that statement.
All
Please.
right, yes, prompt engineering. There is need to learn how to prompt AI the right way. Now,
Exactly.
for instance, if I am to write, I tell AI where I want my
information.
where I want the information to come out from. For example, you can tell it should go to Scopus Index Journal.
Exactly. Web of Science.
Draw out information from there. I tell you, it will come out so super clean.
No hallucination.
Yes. So you have to prompt the right way. You must learn the act of prompting. You must prompt the right way. If you prompt the right way, I tell you, no headache. AI is sweet to use.
Interestingly, we carried out an experiment with a top person. We wrote a systematic literature review using AI, but we are professional. We put it in Turnitin and all the, similarity index detector, no similarity index, no digital footprint, because we did the right thing. We followed the correct principles that I developed. So when some of us talk, we talk authoritatively, and Victoria has actually validated that. Use the word real, genuine, then specify where you want the information. Is it Google Scholar? Is it Web of Science? Is it Scopus? Once you are specific, it's going to give you the correct information. Still, you still do the paraphrasing and professionalism in order to get something that is ethical and also that will reflect your own style of writing. Instead of writing for 6 months, you can write in 6 weeks and you still get published in Q1 and Q2 paper without any digital footprint. So we are saying it authoritatively. And your Viva and everything will come out fine within your 3 years, and you're going to get your certificate without cutting corners. That is the emphasis. Not telling you that you get PhD in 3 months. No. In your 3 years, you come out with something good, professional, and anywhere in the world, wherever your paper is taken to, you always come out 1, 2, 3. So that's the emphasis, not shortcut. Don't tolerate nonsense from students. In my own university, they allow you to use AI officially, but ethically, professionally. Even lecturers who don't like said, no, the university wants students to use it. Many years ago, when scientific calculator came, they said, don't use it, because if they use scientific calculator, they won't understand math, they won't be good. Today is another story. People use it. People use it. In US, students are even allowed to jot things. They call it blue paper. You can jot. Since you are not, it's different from our own microchips and cheating. Teacher will give you that clean paper that because some things are very difficult for you, you can jot them. Your lecturer will look at it, okay? Once they're okay, you can take it in. So education is evolving in different parts of the world. So don't let us shy away from trend that is, unfolding. May God make us good learners.
Hello, RRPA. Answer question after RRPA, Sulaiman, and after Sulaiman, Halima is the final person.
Good afternoon, Prof.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the... Prof, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, sir. We have been well informed based on what you teach us this morning. But the fear I have as a student is, for instance, if I need to use AI guide as using it to do some data analysis, you have differentiated between the paid version and the free version. So, but the fear I have is, for instance, if I don't have the financial prowess and I have learned the ethics you have taught us here, that you need to prompt your ChatGPT work, put in, I ask for genuine papers and be specific on the things you need. Do you still feel that I cannot achieve my my objective using the free version if I follow the ethics of what have been mentioned here? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. You can still achieve it using the free version, but you need to learn that too. Whenever you ask for paper, don't go to the free version and say, write article for me. Do you understand? The first thing is come up with a particular title. Then ask for gaps. What are the gaps in that particular area? From that particular gap, you now create a different topic that shows scholarly, contribution. Then thereafter, you now said, write introduction, maybe 1,000 words of introduction using real, articles with APA citation and references, then add DOI and link. So after writing that particular thing for you, don't really romance with the output. Go to the references, start cutting each references, throw it inside a Google Scholar. If you're able to produce it in Google Scholar, it's real. If you have about 10 references and Google Scholar says they exist and you see the full, then now read those things, rewrite it in your own word, in your own style, then you have a good paper. Do you understand? Before ChatGPT, many of us are top scholars. I lectured in Yabatech. I rose from lecturer 1 to principal lecturer. It's there. Even if you check Yabatech database, I'm one of the most highly published. American University, before ChatGPT, I was there as a director of Center for Entrepreneurship. Go and check even the ranking. I've left. They still use my rank. I'm still about number 3. So before ChatGPT, so it's not as if ChatGPT has helped us to be top scholar. No. I have my own style of writing. Even when people see a paper without mine, they say, this paper belongs to. But with ChatGPT, it makes my writing, faster, better. I'm able to integrate theory from engineering to management. Because I can't do that with my brain. I say, ChatGPT, is it possible to integrate theory from engineering to management in this particular manner? It's going to give me the draft, then I'll look for the paper, then write it, rephrase in a manner that suits me. Then that is scholarly, my own style, my own flavor, my own ingredient will be there. So it is possible, but you're going to be hardworking. The second way is, if it is database, you don't know how to use ChatGPT to run your data. PSPP is free. PSPP is a free version of SPSS. Do you understand? It's online. It's free. And also Jamovi is reliable, very powerful. It is free. You can download on your laptop and still do what we are doing. Do you understand? So if people have issues with ChatGPT running data, you can use PSPP, Jamovi. They are free. Or you contribute money and buy paid version of ChatGPT. Victoria mentioned in multiple users. You can use it. 5,000 monthly among 10 students shouldn't be too much. Some of you go to, McDonald's, and Mr. Biggs to eat something of 7,000. But when it comes to paying for knowledge, we don't want to pay. You have to pay to get good results. So that's my advice to students.
Thank you, Prof.
Sulaiman, Dr. Sulaiman, please unmute yourself so that we can round up. Dr. Sulaiman.
Yes. Thank you very much, Prof. We really appreciate this preparing session. So my concern regarding the use of AI in research work, still there are some of the supervisors that they used to also use anti-AI dictator in order to dictate whether you use AI or not in your research work. So how can you address this issue? My second comment is to request that participant that use shared version, please, I want to join the monthly subscription from her if I can reach her. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, you see, lecturers in the world, whether Nigeria or abroad, they are not oracles. They don't have special way of detecting other than to use tools. And those tools, I'm familiar with them. I teach online at UNICAF. UNICAF is one of the first universities in the world to use what is called AI detector. It is different from ChatGPT. ChatGPT and Turnitin traces similarity index, that is plagiarism. You understand? But AI detector traces what is called digital footprint and AI production. They are two different things. And that is why Turnitin cannot, pin down those who use AI productively. But UNICAF put both there. So at a stage, they had to remove, not really remove, they told lecturer not to be serious about it, because the basis for, digital footprints and for discountenancing people's academic contribution has not really been well articulated in the world. There are some people who write very well, like Wale Soyinka and some others. If you put some of their works in some of these tools, digital footprint, it may say it is a digital footprint. Why? Because the language is so robust and error-free. At the end, it says it's plagiarism. Whereas that is not plagiarism. Because at that level, they write very well. So you need to combine AI detector with Turnitin to be able to monitor students. But what most Nigerian students do is that they go to ChatGPT, copy something, do the formatting beautifully, and then submit it. When you submit it, they are going to detect both plagiarism and digital footprint. So what you can do whenever you get any information from ChatGPT, be professional. We just mentioned it. Ask the right question, use the right prompt, and from the right source. Then whatever you get, now rewrite in your own word, professional with citation and proper referencing. Then everything that you have in Microsoft Word that looks beautiful, there are what we call digital footprint. Some like star, some like X, some like art. They are buried in your article. You don't know they are there. So when the machine is scanning, those are the things that the machine will scan and now recommend to your lecturer that this is AI, because they have seen digital footprint there. Find a way of removing all those digital footprints by rewriting, rewording, reworking, paraphrasing over time. There's a particular guy on the TikTok. He's a prof. I think he should be from Pakistan. He's an authority. Although I'm not saying he's better than me, but that guy, any tool that has been reinvented is going to tell you how to be professional, because this is a tool, it's like a calculator. We are using this thing to enhance our writing capability, to speed our process of generating article. Not that it's writing for us. It's going to write partially, but we write more. At the end of the day, we own it. That's exactly what AI has come to do. So if you use professional approach, no lecturer can penalize you. It will become your own 100%. So I want to assure, if you are still afraid, learn how to do it. Learn how to do it. Try to link up with experts like Victoria and some others to learn more from it. So I'm talking about 2 years of research, not really because I want to publish, but I want to learn this too, because I teach innovation management. And part of the theory is that when a new technology emerges, there are some people, majority, who go against it, only very few. After some time, you have early majority, late majority, then you have the conservative who will come last. So, and that's what is playing out in Nigeria. Whether we like it or not, AI has come to stay. The industry has accepted it, but the academic is still, reluctant, skeptical. I understand where they are coming from. They didn't get their PhD free. Also, I got my own PhD. Very difficult. But the reality is that we're in a knowledge society. New technology are coming, so we should learn how to relate with new technology without necessarily going against those technologies. So let's teach the student how to use it for research, for articles, for data analysis. And at the end of the day, we as lecturers can go and sit and close our eyes. But if you don't teach them, they will still continue to use it. There are AI that can even bypass digital footprint now. So as we continue to raise the bar, students will also raise the bar. So the best is teach them so that they will be able to learn and use it productively.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Let
Thank you
us
very
leave.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Alima Abdulaziz, a PhD candidate from University of Lagos. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us. And I think for those who are afraid, most schools now have pegged the detection based on percentage. I think there's a certain percentage of AI that is allowed in our works. But meanwhile, my question is, can you reference the papers you want, then upload those references and make sure that your prompt is working around the references you have uploaded?
Beautiful.
Maybe having gone online. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Then
In fact,
the other question
I
is,
taught a particular
yeah.
PhD student that if you want to do what is called systematic literature review, instead of asking AI to generate references for you, go and get your own choice references, maybe 50 across different journals. You can upload it. It's going to do it for you. There's no time. I will have demonstrated it. It's a better way of doing it so that you'll be rest assured that all your 50 references or 70 references, collected from different archive databases using what is called purposive sampling is catered for. It's possible. Yeah.
Okay. Then the next question is, when you use Grammarly, Grammarly helps you correct and is also like an AI tool. So does that automatically reflect when an AI tool is being used to detect what you have written?
That is the reason why so many universities now queried digital footprint. Before AI, before ChatGPT, AI and everything, we've been using Ref and Write and also Grammarly, because these are language, software. But when AI came, Ref and Write, Grammarly and others, they also strengthen the capacity of their own software by using AI. So now, when you write your thesis and use Grammarly to correct, because Grammarly is now also leveraging AI, so it's going to turn all your thesis to, AI infected write-up. There are so many people who have written their articles, their theses on their own, but they now corrected with Grammarly. So their supervisor said there is AI, and they also plagiarism. So that is why I said that most universities now came up with policies that for your thesis or long essay, your plagiarism should not be more than 30 pieces, because it's impossible not to have plagiarism. Then your digital footprint should not be more than 20 or 30%, because there's no way you use either Ref and Write. These are not ChatGPT. These are language software, but because the owners have also embraced AI, so that AI disease has now entered into their software too. So to protect the interests of students, you can't have a thesis in the world that will be free from digital footprint and plagiarism. The only thing is to reduce the percentage.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
UNILAG, AAU, come up with a policy. It's impossible not to have plagiarism in a thesis. Thesis is a bulky document. Even your so-called footnotes, your headers and footers, Turnitin will count them as plagiarism. So that is why you still have, plagiarism in your work, no matter how small. But we need a policy in place. 30%, some have up to 45%, depending on universities.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, just to add, the plagiarism checker also has AI detector in it now. So as it also checks your plagiarism level, it also checks the content of the AI. But with the use of right human AI, this is tested and trusted. After AI must have written everything to you, subject it to right human AI. When you subject it to right human AI and then you now subject it to the AI detector, you discover that you're running around 1 to 5% of AI inputs.
Beautiful. That is another comment from a prof, a prof of AI. So as people are raising the bar, producer of software also raising the bar. Very soon, some people will also come up with another tool that will also counter that particular one. So people are just selling machine. That is the language. This is what we teach. People are selling machine to you, and that is why university is tired. Say, well, let us have a benchmark. Let students use it, but we must ensure that students put in a lot of, rigor into using it. You don't just get the mark easily. We must detect that you have actually labored, you have worked hard to really earn it. And that is why you do viva voce. You have written something, come and defend it. So if they're able to defend it at the end of the semester, please let them go. It's impossible, even you lecturers, if you put your work in some of these tools these days, it's going to show some level of plagiarism and digital footprint. So nobody is clean. Nobody, but we reduce the level. That is the most important thing. Yeah. So I think after Nancy, let's call it a day so that
Prof is so generous today. Nancy,
I started 3 a.m. It is 3 a.m. in Texas.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. It's worth the time, honestly. Yes, sir, I want to reiterate that. Yes, because that question I wanted to ask is because I did it and it worked.
Beautiful.
Whereby, so that we will not be lazy, I went to download articles for my work.
Yeah.
So after downloading the articles, I reviewed those articles. Then I plugged them like that inside, uploaded them in ChatGPT to, you understand, to write, let's say, review this literature. And it came out very fine. So in order not to encourage us to be lazy, let's do the real work on the ground, and then now use this ChatGPT to limit the time and the cracking of brain that it would have taken. Thank you very, very much, sir.
Yeah. If you have done what is called descriptive literature review, reviewers will want analytical, and you don't know how to do analytical. Upload your say, turn what I have done to analytical literature. It's going to do it. Then you now rewrite it again to reflect your own style, and you have credit for that. There's nothing wrong with it. It is ethical, it is creative, it is professional, it is acceptable in all world-class university. So what is the stress? Somebody in maybe one university in Nigeria say, you can't use it. No, they use it. They hide the way they use it, but they don't want others to use it. So it is, UNESCO call it democratization of knowledge and tools. Our students are in the village, they have phone, but they don't have access to library. So they can use ChatGPT to get the needed raw material to solve case studies, and to belong to the global system. If you don't allow ChatGPT, they won't have access to global library, global resources. That's the reason why it was developed, to make things very cheap for us, and at the same time, for us to be fast, prompt in whatever we are doing. So that's the take home at the end of the day, not to make us lazy. Do the work and do it better. So thank you for your rapt attention. I've spent 3 hours.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. You can go ahead. Thanks for the sacrifice of waking up at the middle of the night to take us through this training.
It's my pleasure.
Thanks, we really appreciate. So may Almighty God continue to assist you. So we are going to post the video on our YouTube channel. You can go there to watch the videos and rewatch it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as I said, that we are having an upcoming programs which involves you picking, either you are learning systematic literature review of bibliomatics, and then also you also learn one additional advanced method such as panel data, time series, structural equation modeling, qualitative analysis, and meta-analysis. It will be hands-on, and it will be 1 month program. It is just for 50,000 naira. You're having the material, you're having the certificate, and every other thing. So I'm going to roll out our flyer. Also, the poster will be on our YouTube page. You can also enroll. Thanks for coming. Have a nice time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you.
Victoria, I'm going to chat you up.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much, Prof. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you very much.